any sport where they let them fight,
Yeah.
like they don't even
exactly.
try to break it up.
That is pretty cool.
And I think they know, like, hockey could be a little boring without these fights.
Yo, you know what? You know what I like about hockey? There's designated people that fight. Like,
What do you mean?
So like, there's a designated hitman on the team.
Yeah.
Like this motherfucker's only intention is to go out here and hit people,
Or like
and start a fight.
If like your team and another team have beef, it's kind of like unspoken, like you know who's gonna fight,
Yeah.
probably.
Really?
Yeah.
They get their two best fighters, and that they're going at some point in the game they're gonna throw down.
Like everybody has to know how to fight, but like there's one guy specifically that like is willing to throw gloves, no question.
It's like a teeth to mouth ratio of determining of who the fuck is that.
Who in the history of hockey is known as like the baddest with the hands?
Oh,
that's a great question.
That's a great question.
Look that up. That's a good. Who's the best NHL fighter of all time?
All right,
that's a damn good question.
Y'all keep talking. Who is the?
I don't know. I don't know them.
Dude, I remember there's he's not the best fighter, but there's this guy that plays for the Stars. He had like a 5-minute long fight.
That's insane.
That's like longest. Most fights last like a minute.
Yeah, that's insane.
Terry O'Reilly.
Terry O'Reilly is number 10.
Okay. Tony Twit. That's a name, dude. That's
hold
a name.
Right 10 fights in the season. All right, so hold up. He playing just 445 games. He still managed to pick up 10. What? Hold on. What is that?
Pop-up ads. All right, go ahead.
Put up 6 10-fight seasons. God damn.
Dude, who's number one? I want to see.
Let's just skip to number one. Let's skip to number one.
Bob
Probert.
He's got an age restriction.
He has
video.
an age restriction on the video.
Dude, that probably means he like stepped like with his skates on the dude's fucking neck.
Yo, that's crazy.
Insane.
Chase a dude with a skate. It's a 9-minute video.
To confirm your age.
It's a 9-minute video. All right, we can't watch it here, but we'll pull that up.
So he has a
later.
top 10 fights? Yo, that's awesome.
That's interesting. Okay.
I need to get his jersey. I don't even know who he is. I'm getting his jersey.
Bob Probert. Let's see what he looks like.
3,300 penalty minutes.
That's insane.
Let's see what he looked like.
He's a documentary.
Oh, yeah. He looked like
Dude,
rugged.
he looks fucking satanic in that.
Yeah.
Bro, look at that.
He definitely looks possessed.
Oh, shit.
Does that say Firefox? God damn.
Yeah, I gotta say though,
I don't know
Bob's
what's
not
going
like
on. We're using this old laptop right now.
Bob's not like a real intimidating name, but it works somehow.
That's crazy.
Isn't that short for Robert?
Yeah.
All right.
Something came up about his death. I wonder if he died in a crazy way. He looked like somebody that would die in a crazy
Maybe
way.
he died on the ice, doing what he fucking loved.
Fighting people.
All right. Well,
That's an insane amount of that's a lot of fucking penalties.
So
are we going? We're not going, are we? Right now?
Yeah, we're fucking going, man.
We're live?
This is how we start.
Yeah,
this is just cold open, man.
Oh, that's
technical difficulties and all. You know what I mean?
Oh, that's how y'all fucking.
I mean,
do
I'll bring
it
in. First episode. Did you order? I'm your guest. No, I'm not. I'm your host. I smoked a lot of weed before this. Let's cut that part out.
Yeah, he doesn't know who he is. No, leave that shit in. He doesn't know who he is. He leave it in.
Okay, I'm Al Ali. Down at the end of the couch, the Pornhub couch that we have is Ish Housein. And our amazing guest, our brave and bold friend, comedian, Sam Love. Let's get a round of applause, Sam Love. In the building.
Thank you.
Appreciate you coming out, Sam.
Oh, it's good to be here. I clap for myself right there.
Yeah, you should. You should.
You know, it's two brown guys in a basement and me. So who knows what could happen tonight?
So how we even met this guy is we start, obviously we're doing comedy and stuff. We met him at these open mics and he's just been cool. We just clicked. So here we are.
Yeah. I think I was at your first open mic, I think.
Probably.
Yeah. I think
May 31st. I mean, Ish started on the same night.
I was nervous as hell with that shit.
I think I just moved to DC and I heard Give a Hoot, like it sounded like a pretty good spot. I didn't get on. I didn't realize you had to sign up beforehand. But I was like, I'll just sit and watch the show. And I think you went up. And then I think the next week you went up.
I did go
you're right, because I was on the walk-in list and I didn't get on the first week.
That's true. That's true.
That actually worked out better for me because I had mad butterflies. So I was like, I kind of got them out the first time, and the second week I got.
Was that your first set?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah,
holy
that was my
shit.
first set.
Yeah.
Well, it's crazy because I think that first week I saw you perform, Amir perform, and Remy perform.
For the first time?
Yeah, for the first time, yeah.
Okay.
And I remember with Amir, I'm like, who is this guy?
He's great.
Who is this guy?
He's amazing.
No, he had good stuff, but I actually remember the first time I went to Give a Hoot. I remember kind of being like, this kind of sucks. Like the crowd was not into it at all. That
Bad
first
night?
week. No, dude, it was
Yeah.
bad, man. Remy went like first, and I liked his stuff, but like it was just like a straight bomb, dude.
Yeah.
It's
Just-
weird
I
how
think
that
I might have
works.
been there for this because I
Yeah.
came a few weeks earlier to check it out. And
Yeah,
I mean, yeah, I can see the nervousness in one of those nights where it's just dead.
yeah,
every
yeah.
room is so random. You never know what the hell you're gonna get.
But they've had their good nights too.
Oh yeah,
Like
oh, yeah.
now, like it's
I
packed.
mean, that's
it's a
become-
good mic.
It's become my favorite
Yeah,
spot.
I
Yeah.
love going there.
But I do remember texting one of my buddies from Texas, and I was like, yeah, I went to this mic tonight, but I was like, I'll probably never go back. I was like, I'll probably never go back. And now I'm there every week.
It's your
yeah,
favorite
it's,
mic,
it's
yeah.
a good vibe.
I love it. I know
Yeah.
there's enough people there every time,
Yeah.
like where you
Yeah.
can actually like work shit out, you know?
The thing I like about that mic is there's new people every time.
Yeah.
It's not the same. I mean, yes, you get the same people. A lot of comics come over and over again, but like those people that come to for happy hour after work or whatever, they go there,
Yeah.
which is pretty cool.
Oh, like
Yeah.
crowd, the
Yeah,
crowd,
yeah,
the actual
yeah.
crowd. Yeah.
Like
Well-
you seen a whole office building go there one time.
Yeah, yeah.
yeah.
Well, that's what's interesting is like, so when I started doing comedy in Texas, like there's only one comedy club in my hometown, and you were performing for basically just comedians. So
Hmm.
you couldn't come in with the same jokes every week.
Is that what like open mics? Because we're new, we're still kind of filling out everything, right? Is that what open mics are considered to be? It's usually comedians, or is that just like a,
That's a good question. I think it's a little bit of both.
Yeah.
Like because even here, like we do those mics Tuesday, Thursdays. It's typically like hardly anybody's there, and
Yeah.
then Give a Hoot's kind of like our crown jewel that we do, where
Yeah.
like it's pretty good. There's a lot of people there typically. I think like for me, it was just like my hometown was so small.
Hmm.
Like there's no audience. Really
Where
for
is
it.
your hometown?
Tyler, Texas.
Tyler, Texas.
Yeah.
What's that in proximity to like one of the
That's
major
like
cities?
hour and a half east of Dallas.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. It's honestly kind of like it just looks like a suburb of a big town.
Hmm.
Except there is no big town to it. It's just like the suburb.
Interesting.
It's just like it's like where are we right now? Like I don't even
We're
fucking
Wheaton.
know.
We're in
Wheaton,
Wheaton,
Silver Spring.
We're in
yeah.
Wheaton, Silver
Yeah,
Spring.
I didn't know y'all kidnapped me, so I
Yeah.
wasn't sure where we were going.
You're still
but-
new to the area.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, you don't even know what mumbo sauce is.
No, I had no clue.
Oh,
I didn't
shit.
even know where I was going. I was like, I don't know whose
Oh,
fucking house
shit.
this is or anything.
That's
but
what- no, Brandon, he's lovable. Look at him. He looked up and smiled
Well,
at me.
I actually when I
He
pulled
looked up and smiled.
when I pulled up, I was like, Al's doing all right.
Yeah,
Like I was
man,
like, this is his house.
no, I'm not doing that good. No, Brandon's doing great.
What, do
this
you
guy.
have a house or an apartment?
I have an apartment.
Okay,
Yeah, I have an
okay.
apartment because I have no kids and
It works.
I'm not a drug dealer, so I have to live honorably and
Wait,
I have to take what I can get.
You're not just a drug dealer, are you?
Huh?
Are you just a drug dealer?
No,
He said he's
no,
not a drug
I'm not
dealer.
a drug dealer.
Oh.
I would have a bigger house. I would have a bigger house if I did. But Tyler, Texas. So you went
Yeah.
to like you were born in this small town.
Born and raised, never lived anywhere else.
What?
How
Well,
many
I-
people?
It's like probably like 120,000 maybe.
Okay.
That's
So
like a wild guess. Predominantly white.
That's a good guess.
Okay.
Well, no, it's like one of those things where it's like, hey, y'all minorities, y'all stay on that side. We'll stay down
Oh,
here.
okay.
you
So
know,
predominantly white.
Yeah,
So,
yeah.
so it was like an organized segregation thing. Like it was
Exactly,
like a
exactly. And we
unspoken
all-
segregation.
organized
and we all get
segregation.
along well with it, I mean, North Tyler is like the rougher area,
Hmm.
but it's also the more hip area. Like there's cool shit in
I got
like
you.
in North Tyler.
Like-
That's like where the
Like
comedy
movie
club
theaters
is.
and comedy clubs and like normal people shit.
like bars and shit.
Oh,
You know,
okay.
like the
It's like
hipper-
a college town. No college. It's
there
just
is
a town.
There's a college, but I would
Yeah.
not categorize it as a college
Okay.
town. Like it's it's kind of one of those college towns where the only people that go there are like from Tyler.
Yeah, yeah.
How many
Yeah.
people
So-
went to your high school?
In my class, it was probably like 500-600.
Okay.
I mean, y'all
That's
probably
pretty typical.
Y'all probably
Yeah.
went to big ass high schools. So.
I actually didn't. So like it was crazy about my high school. My 9th grade year, because they had three different schools going there at the
Yeah.
time. They had I had the biggest freshman class, right? That school has ever had, Magruder High School. By the time I graduated, I had the smallest graduating class that's ever.
Yeah.
I think we only had like there was less than 300 people graduating.
Yeah, lost a lot of guys
Yeah.
along
Yeah.
the way, huh?
Yeah, fallen
Yeah.
soldiers.
Yeah.
So much for that no child left
they
behind.
got
Right?
shot at school, right? Yeah, it was nice knowing you, sir.
Nice knowing you. There you go.
You're a real trooper.
Oh,
2 tours
man.
of freshman year right there.
So you went to Magruder. Where's that at?
Rockville. It says Rockville, but it's actually in Durwood.
So you're from Maryland your
Yeah,
whole life.
Yeah.
You were born in Maryland?
I was born in
States?
Maryland. Yeah, I was born in Maryland.
Okay.
I spent a lot of time in New York, and then obviously Maryland. But
Okay.
You know what bothers me about Maryland is that state looks fucked up, like on a map.
it's the weirdest looking shit, right?
Dude,
like,
yeah.
like
It
looks like this.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Well, I was gonna say,
it looks
like a gun.
It looks like a gun.
Yeah.
It looks like a fucking machine
have
gun.
you heard
dude.
of Baltimore?
it does look like a Tommy gun.
Baltimore's the ammunition, right?
You've
there.
been there?
No, I haven't
Dude.
been, but I've literally never heard a good thing about.
So
Baltimore.
that's
Baltimore's
future
a-
content for us at a later time. We're taking Sam Love
To
to the
Baltimore.
hoods of Baltimore.
yeah, y'all just drop me off there.
You don't want to do that.
You know,
No,
I wouldn't do that
vlog
myself.
it. I'll
Huh?
get y'all some good footage, dude.
Oh no, you might
I
not.
feel scared leaving you.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a destiny.
I feel scared taking you. To be honest. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But
Baltimore's always had a bad reputation.
what about Tyler? Are there the hoods of Tyler, Texas?
Yeah, in North Tyler, I'm gonna come across as like a small town honky, but it's kind of rough. North Tyler,
Never.
North North Tyler's kind of rough. South Tyler is like, I mean, it's just like country club type people, you
Mm.
know, just like bunch of whiteys, you know, just like
Yeah.
minding their business, you know. I mean, it's kind of like an uptight town. Like literally, it was a dry town up until I was like 12.
What do you mean by dry?
Like no alcohol. You couldn't purchase
This is
alcohol.
Damascus.
Oh, wow.
So it's
Yeah.
Damascus.
Legit dry.
Yeah, you could not purchase. Even at like restaurants, you had to have like a special like ID to get like beer and stuff at restaurants.
That's crazy.
That's insane.
Yeah, crazy.
Is that from like Prohibition or some shit?
I just think they're like, hey, we're a
Super
bunch
Christian?
of religious white honkies, and we don't
That's what
fucking
Damascus
want.
is.
You're gonna
Yeah.
set the record for saying
Yeah.
honky on our first
Yo,
episode. It's amazing.
You know what's funny? I have this. I don't know the origins if this is true or not, but I heard the origins of the word honky, and it's pretty fucking unique.
I'm
So-
interested.
So, all right,
I'm interested.
the word came from. They used to have whorehouses that were in the black community, and the people that would show up would be white men in trucks. So they
Mm.
called them honkies because they would pull up in the driveway and they would honk to alert that they're
like,
here.
Get your ass
Yeah,
out of
so
here.
that's how they know
Yeah.
the honkies here, and then all right, here you go, girls come out.
That's actually
I think
hilarious.
I think there's truth to that shit.
No, it makes sense. It definitely makes sense.
According to Google, it says honky may have come from coal miners in Oak Hill, West Virginia. The miners were segregated, blacks in one section, Anglo-whites in another. Foreigners who could not speak English, mostly whites, were separated from both groups into an area known as Hunk Hill. These male laborers were known as hunkies.
Now, when they say blacks in one section, are they talking about the coal or what?
No, I'm pretty sure the people. But the weird,
Oh shit, my bad. Fuck.
the weird part is it says foreigners who could not speak English, mostly whites.
Interesting.
So that means Irish.
It's
Yeah.
like some germs, Germany.
germs.
Yeah,
I like
yeah.
my story
Did you
better.
just call it Germans?
Yeah, the germs.
Germs?
The germs.
How have I lived to this age
And
and
not
not,
realize that-
heard that?
I'm not.
Term.
Wait, why haven't I come up with that
Right?
shit?
That's amazing.
That's probably what they
Wow.
called them in World War II.
Wait, are you
know,
a
the
German?
Germs.
Are you a German?
You a Germany?
What's on the scale of 1 to 10? How racist is Tyler, Texas?
Hmm.
You can be honest.
I
We're all
would say
friends here.
like a 7, maybe.
Yeah,
That's pretty up
that's
there.
pretty normal. Yeah, that's what I would expect.
I thought that was actually pretty reasonable.
No, I mean, because like over here, if you go to, even all right, you can go city by city, and then you get different levels of racism.
Well, I'll say this: like living there, I didn't realize what was categorized as racist outside of Tyler. Like I'm like,
Mm.
oh, that's like when I started living other places. I'm like, oh, that's not cool.
Like,
to
oh,
say.
you can't say the N word
Yeah, yeah.
out loud in
I'm
the
like, oh,
ER.
that's like not cool to say. Okay,
Interesting.
So like
gotcha.
things are like a part of your life. Normally, in normal day life, you go outside of it. That's when you're like, oh shit,
Yeah,
it's a culture shock. I got you.
exactly.
When was your first moment of culture shock in your life? right now? 5 minutes ago?
Yeah,
20 minutes ago? How far are we
sitting
into
next to a
this?
couple brown guys. No, I remember a couple times in college, people got onto me for a couple things that I said.
Interesting.
And I was like, oh, they did not like that at all. I was like, oh.
Yeah.
And I some of them genuinely didn't know it was not cool to say. But not slur, like not racial slurs, but like I said like dyke one time and like a lesbian was like, hey!
Really?
Yeah, like
Over
it
dyke?
did not like that.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
I was expecting something else.
Yeah,
I was expecting something else.
I was thinking a lot more aggressive.
Yeah, yeah.
I mean, Tupac said that endless times.
Well, but
right?
the thing is, even in Tyler, like people know, like, hey, like you shouldn't say the N-word, but we're gonna say it anyways.
Yeah.
But like with Dyke, like I was like, oh, I did not know people were not cool with.
Okay,
like,
interesting.
Yeah.
That's interesting.
It sounds like you kind of ended up around some super progressive people who didn't like you saying that because she was.
I did. Yeah, I did end
Dyke.
up around some. Yeah, like a couple like
Did you?
progressive.
Where did you go to school in Texas?
Yeah, I went
Okay.
to school called Stephen F. Austin. It's like an hour south of Tyler in this
Okay.
town called Nacogdoches.
Yeah. What?
Nacogdoches.
How the hell do you sell it?
Nacogdoches.
That sounds like a rap group. That sounds like a fucking album.
Nacogdoches.
Yeah, check out my mixtape, bro. Nacogdoches.
All right, so you end up in school in Nacogdoches.
Yeah, Nacogdoches. Yeah.
Interesting.
Or you can call it Knack for sure.
Na-
People
the
call
Knack?
it Knack.
Knack?
Nasty Knack.
Nasty Knack.
Nasty
what-
Knack is the rap name, and then Nacogdoches is the album.
Nasty Knack goes hard, doesn't it?
Yo,
I like that. Yeah.
Nacogdoches.
Yeah. And
Interesting.
I mean, it's the oldest, or at least it's considered the oldest town in Texas. It's the first settlement in
wow.
Texas. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So like,
So there's a lot of history there.
yeah, but it honestly,
Not good.
it's pretty
Oh.
boring. To be
Yeah,
honest.
yeah.
I was
It's
about to
not-
say, being the first something is like, unless something really significant happened there, it's probably boring as shit. It's probably like, oh yeah, it's the first tree. Like,
yeah, you got a
well,
point.
that's what it's like. The history there, they're like, here's where like they planted like corn or whatever. You know, it's like boring, dude.
It's like Jebediah Springfield.
Yeah,
Like,
like, it very quickly got like surpassed in Texas history. Like, there's so many interesting things that happened in Texas, and Nacogdoches is not one of them.
What do you think about
It's a cool
the
name, though.
historical aspects of like the area around here, the DC, Maryland, Virginia area?
I think it's cool.
Yeah.
I like living
Like,
here.
have you got into it? Are you into history? Is that
Yeah,
something that
I am into history.
Yeah.
Yeah.
did you do the monument tours?
Oh yeah.
Okay.
Oh yeah.
What's your favorite one?
Probably. I mean, probably the Lincoln. I think the
Lincoln's a good one.
Lincoln's
but-
a dope one.
but I
Because
think-
I like the view with the Lincoln with
Oh,
the
yeah.
water.
Yeah.
So like, all right, this is a funny story. One of the first times I took psychedelics, took acid, and I went to DC during the Cherry Bomb festivals. One of the most beautiful. I sat there and cried, dog. It was so fucking beautiful. Like for real, because I was trying to take a picture of it with my phone and it wasn't looking how I saw it. I was so mad. Like, so I'm sitting there looking at this shit. This shit's like a postcard. It was like this purple's reflecting off the sky, and like I'm sitting there at Lincoln. I'm like, damn, this is historic. I'm sitting there like Martin Luther King. Like this is where Martin Luther King did. I'm sitting there on acid. Like this shit is beautiful. Like, and I can't replicate it on my phone.
Yeah,
I was so
it's
mad.
just like I have a dream too, baby.
Hey, I'm in a dream.
I'm in a
right
dream
now.
right now.
I become the dream.
Maybe Martin Luther King was on acid.
Dude.
And they're like, he's making a good point. He's like, no, I'm like tripping balls right now.
Everyone just misunderstood what he was trying to say.
He's like, I have a dream. They're like, preach. He's like, no, I need help.
I mean, if you think about it, you're on mushrooms.
Yeah.
I vision black and brown, everybody together. You know what I mean?
That's
Like,
actually kind of like the thoughts that I have when I'm like tripping. Like, I remember the first time I
you
did
become
acid.
into white. You become the white Martin Luther King.
I just
There's a white Martin Luther King. He was a Protestant or
I
something.
just think I have these like profound thoughts, and then like when I think about it afterwards, I'm like, that's not really that deep, you know.
Damn.
Like I remember, like I telling my friend when I was on acid, I was like, you know, we just all need to be like good to each other, you know. And he's like, yeah, and I'm like, that was really deep, you know? And then like later on, I was like, that's not that deep, really.
It is.
In
You
your
probably
head,
just
you
didn't
do-
remember the rest of it.
In your head, it's like a feeling but you're trying to replicate, and that's the words that you use to express
yeah.
that feeling.
It is a feeling. Yeah, that's a
Yeah.
good way of putting it. Yeah, like you feel something, you try to just like spew it out, and
Yeah.
it doesn't really like
Just
come
be a
across.
good person.
Yeah,
It's like-
exactly.
and in your head, you're thinking all this other shit. I was like, okay, yeah.
But also, when you're like drunk or high or like tripping balls, like the thoughts that come out, like I think that's like the real you.
Yeah.
So
Absolutely.
if good thoughts
sure.
come out, you're like, okay, I'm a good person.
Yeah,
you know?
yeah.
Like, because we've all met that guy that gets drunk and he like says some wild shit, and you're like, oh, that's the real you.
Yeah.
It's like, this is why you don't have friends that stick
Yeah.
around. They're like, you know,
We were wondering what happened to the cat type shit. You know what I mean? Like he's like those type of crazy.
that's why she
kids,
left
like,
you. Like,
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. Yeah. Like
Yeah, those people
that-
scare me.
Yeah. Oh,
Yeah.
dude,
Yeah.
me too.
you know, people like that scare me because, like, all right, what I noticed with what you're saying about like with Tyler, people are openly racist there, and I'm okay with that because, like, I would rather you be racist up front.
Yeah.
So I'd rather know you're a racist, and then okay, we can agree to disagree with that shit. Obviously, is wrong, but like if I find out through your behavior later on,
Yeah.
it's gonna hurt more. You know what I
I
mean?
will say, like if y'all went to my high school, like, I don't think y'all would get like discriminated against for being racist. I think it's more like an underlying, like,
Mhm.
you know what I mean?
Welcome to our high school out here.
Yeah. You know what I mean?
It's, I don't know. How old are you?
23.
I only asked because I grew up in a different era, right? So like I went to elementary, middle school, high school, all around DC, Maryland, Virginia.
Yeah.
And one thing I am grateful for is like we were very diverse.
Absolutely.
So
Yeah,
literally in my
yeah.
class, it was like United Nations. You
Yeah,
know what I mean?
yeah,
It's like
yeah.
everybody in there, but everyone's still cracking on everybody.
Yeah,
So
yeah,
it's like
yeah.
you're
And
still
it was like
getting
a friendly thing.
Yeah.
I think one of the dopest things about schools in this area, you can walk to any lunchroom and you could see you could see the clique of Spanish, you could see the clique of whites,
Yeah.
the clique of Asians, the clique of blacks. I think that's the most unique thing about this whole area is those lunchrooms.
Yeah.
Is it like that there?
Yeah. I probably not to the extent it is
Yeah,
up
right.
here.
Yeah, because
but
of population.
I
Right?
also,
Obviously, yeah.
so there's 2 high schools in Tyler. Those are much more diverse than mine. Mine was
Mm.
just outside of Tyler. And that was a little more white. Maybe a lot of more white.
Yeah.
Like, we definitely had our fair share of blend, you know, but
Like
like,
they were like this water fountain, buddy.
hey, what are you doing? What are you doing? Yeah.
Hey,
Yeah.
can you imagine that shit? Like, all right, if they had segregation in schools, and like, all right, you know how you get the nacho cheese? That's the colored only cheese. You got to use other cheese. Like, yo.
I want to get back to circle back because I'm interested in what's your
Yeah.
kick for history.
Okay. I don't know. I've always liked history. That was like my subject in school. Like, I hated it. Math,
Like
science,
American
didn't-
history.
Oh, American, yeah.
Oh,
What
for
time period?
American, buddy.
Yeah, I
American
did not
history.
fucking care. When it went outside
Anything
America,
before
I'm like,
that?
don't fucking care.
That's funny as shit.
Nothing happened before
That's funny
America.
as
There
shit.
we
Yeah,
go.
yes, me.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But so, I mean, like, the best thing I've done in DC so far is, have y'all, I mean, y'all probably have, but Ford's Theater was dope, dude.
Oh, that's
Like,
when Lincoln got
what's
shot.
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah. That was the best
I haven't
thing
done
I've
that in a
done.
while.
Mm.
I did that in like
So
I think middle
what
school.
what
Yeah.
was the appealing part about it? The story, you knowing like the history, kind of the actual architect. Like what was it about the theater?
Dude, you know what it is? I get like I do this like with everything. I get very like philosophical with things or like deep, like where like when I'm at Ford's Theater, like I'll like just really take it in and like I'll literally
I
like
remember that
do
time.
the story in my head like
yeah.
like 150 years ago, like he was sitting in that box. Like I
Nice.
try to like visualize
that's
it, like
awesome.
how crazy it is,
I
you know?
love that.
It's
yeah.
crazy you say that because all right, when same time when I was on the acid and
Dude, this
it never any trip. So
This is quite a trip.
So somehow I ended up by Trump's hotel,
Okay.
and then Trump's hotel is where the post office used to be.
Does he have a hotel in DC?
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, so
Okay.
it was by the post office, and it was like the old post office, and there's a sign that says like Washington used to come to this post office, and I thought about it, I was like, God damn, George Washington literally drove his
Yeah.
fucking horse, rode his horse to this damn post
Yeah.
office to deliver mail.
Yeah.
It's the craziest thing.
Yeah. I do that with like everything. Not even just history. Like if like I'm like somewhere with my dad, he's like, oh yeah, like I remember coming here in like, 19 whatever. And I'll like think about it in my head. I'm like, so like 40 years ago, he was like sitting where we're sitting like right
so
now.
you're a sucker for nostalgia in
Yeah,
a weird way.
Yeah, I am.
Okay.
No, I'm with you because like it's like a weird secretion that happens and you get this weird like juice flowing that you're like,
You, all
It's
right, I'm about to
something.
get real random. Do you think animals do that?
They're like,
oh yeah.
they're like, I remember when like my offspring got, eaten
Yeah.
by a lion right here or something.
I was thinking more like dogs.
Oh,
like,
yeah.
I was thinking like
not in China though.
I was thinking like whales. Or
Yeah, whales are super smart.
Yeah.
Yo, do
I know elephants
do
do
y'all
that
know
shit.
about the Brandon? What's that shit called? The loneliest whale on the planet. Y'all know about that
Nah,
story?
what the hell is that?
So like, you know how whales, they give out certain like frequency pitches, right?
Yeah.
And they were monitoring these in the ocean, and they pretty much found this one whale who was giving out a pitch that was like off the scale, higher than any other whale, right?
Damn.
And because of that, like they thought that it could not communicate with any whales because it would be solo. So they would track this whale. Like, I don't know if maybe it was Pacific Atlantic, I don't know, but they were tracking it for a few years. So now the theory is that whale is deaf.
Oh.
And it's making like a weird, I'm not going to do
Oh
it.
shit.
It was like,
Yeah, that. Yeah. So they think the whale is deaf. That's
Yeah,
the latest thing.
I mean, that would make sense.
Yeah.
Like that adds up. So he just basically the whale doesn't know how loud he's fucking doing that.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah,
pretty,
okay.
that's like an interesting theory.
Yeah.
Well, I mean,
That's a real interesting
I
human
mean-
deaf people do that too.
That's what I'm saying.
Like, hey, tone that down a little bit. Come on.
Well, that's why I was bringing up when he said about animals having nostalgia. I mean, whales are like the smartest, and they have this whole like they have communities where
Yeah,
they
yeah.
have like social hierarchies, and like that's what made me think of the deaf whale.
That's kind of with dolphins too. Dolphins like
Yeah,
fucking
same
Dolphins
deal.
are smart as shit.
dude. They love to like
Right?
like I went on like a whale watching tour, and we saw dolphins along the way, and they were like jumping up and doing flips, and like somebody was like, they're trying to like impress us.
Yeah.
Like they like
Yeah.
to show off.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like they're like performers.
It makes sense though, because
Yeah.
think about like if an animal, it's all reward based.
Yeah, yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Or
yeah.
don't want to get punished.
Yeah,
Depends how you look
yeah.
at
It's
it.
the same thing with dogs. Like they do a trick. Even if they don't get a treat, they still like enjoy.
They're happy as hell.
They're like, you
Yeah.
like that? Yeah, they can
Yeah.
sense that you like them doing that.
Yeah.
You
They
ever
feed
seen
off
the-
energy.
You ever seen the dolphins find cancer?
Fine.
I've
cancer?
heard
Yo,
about it.
So like, all right, so
in
this
dogs smelling cancer and that
so
type
like,
of
all right,
stuff.
so this is one place, and I forget where the hell it is, but like they can swim with dolphins, right? So these dolphins would come and like they would strike somebody with their beaks, and like it would hurt them to the point where like it would like, hurt for like a week. Let me go get this shit looked at. And then every time they look at it, it's like they look at it, oh, there's nothing there, blah blah blah, and like, no, this shit really fucking hurts. Like, let me go look at it for real. Like, and they demand their doctor go do it. All of a sudden, they find a tumor.
Damn.
It happened
That-
multiple times.
That's fucking crazy.
Like it's
dude.
more than one occasion, and like there's other scenarios where like the dolphin knew this lady was pregnant before she was pregnant
yeah,
because
yeah.
like, the way she was the way they were interacting with her
All
stomach.
right,
and
Google
whatnot.
says you're lying, but we're not going to read that. We're just going to go. I'm just going to go back. We're not going to read that.
Go back to honky.
Yeah, we're going to go back to Honky, the page. Yeah.
I mean, yeah. I don't know. I've heard of. I mean, like going back to the nostalgia thing. I do that like with everything. Like, I remember like one time, like me and my girlfriend, we had like crazy sex like
Mm.
at my grandparents' like property.
Hmm.
And I remember the next time I was there, I like was like
Got a little,
Like, I
got like
really-
rock
yeah,
hard.
like, I really thought of
Sitting there.
like I was like little does like no one knows we had crazy sex like right here.
That's
Yeah.
that's like interesting because I don't feel like normal people do that.
No,
It's
dude,
funny.
I'm
You know what I mean?
fucking weird,
Like
yeah.
I don't think it's necessarily. I mean, it's weird, but it's a cool weird.
Yeah, yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's like you replay the movie. That's like the feeling of everything that went down.
Exactly. Yeah.
Do you think like since you feel like that, do you think places are haunted that have like energies and shit? Like, do you believe in ghosts? Like in these historically.
You know,
like that Lincoln Theater.
I
Yeah.
want to be like it's bullshit,
Hmm.
but my girlfriend is like she's had like tons of hauntings, like in her day.
Oh shit!
Like haunting her specifically.
I wouldn't say haunting her, but it just always seems to happen to her.
Hmm. Okay.
And like, it's not, like sometimes you can discredit people because you're like, yeah, you're fucking nuts. But like
Yeah.
I'm like, I mean, if she believes it, that's good enough for
Your
me.
girl usually know when she's bullshitting or not, so
Yeah.
you can tell like, oh, this really.
and
you
it's
know,
more than once.
Yeah. And
Yeah.
like I would say maybe 5 times.
Damn.
She's had like shit happen.
Like-
How recent?
God, probably like only like a couple years ago.
like voices, like weird
Voices or orbs or
Oh,
like
okay.
she like hears things like not voices but like noises and stuff
Like,
or like things are moved around.
yeah, that's weird.
Like I'm trying to think of an example like I think one time she told me this one was like I was like should I date this chick? Like, when I heard this one, I was like, I'm gonna get killed, dude.
Okay.
I think maybe it might have not happened to her, but maybe her sister. She was like in the shower, and the shower's like kind of like closed off from the rest of the bathroom, and she like heard all these like noises, like do 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 do. She's like, huh, it's weird. Whatever. Gets out of the shower. When she like goes into the main part with like the like sink and shit, all the cabinets are open.
Oh yeah, that's
What the
weird.
fuck?
Yeah, all the fucking cabinets are
And
open.
that's like prime
What the
poltergeist
fuck?
activity.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
they're always opening cabinets like they're looking for something.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
And that's not, dude. It's like one of those things. Like you can't even joke about it with her. Like she's like dead.
I know
serious about it.
people like that who've
Yeah.
experienced stuff. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean,
You know, this house is haunted.
Is
right?
it?
Somebody died right in that seat that you're sitting.
Brandon killed someone.
It'd be a
We
good
knew it.
story. Though.
We
Brandon's
knew
like,
it.
shh.
Oh
It's like that
shit.
story, the tale of the heart, the telltale heart.
Oh yeah,
It's
Oh,
like,
yeah. Is that
you
Edgar?
know that story.
Edgar Allan Poe.
Edgar Allan Poe, the
okay,
telltale
yeah,
heart,
There you go.
Yeah.
where the heart's beating under the thing.
Yeah.
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 That's fucking terrifying.
It's a great story.
Great
Didn't the
story.
Simpsons do a play on that shit for
Yeah.
fucking
Oh, I
Halloween?
bet
Well,
they did.
They did everything. They did the
Yeah.
Raven. I'm sure they did. I don't know if they did Telltale Heart. They did the Raven though
Yeah.
on a Treehouse of Horror
Yeah.
number 13 or something like that. I don't know.
That was a great
So
So
story.
many
that
of
story's
them.
scary as fuck, dude.
Yeah, no, I don't fuck around with ghosts. I believe in all that shit.
I do too. Specifically spirits. I
You're
believe in that
Muslim, right?
shit. Yeah. We call it jinns.
Yeah.
Jins?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh.
They call it
Yeah.
jinns in there.
Which are essentially
it's the same
demons.
shit. Yeah, demons, possessions,
Oh.
all that shit falls in the same
but
category.
Muslims, y'all don't believe specifically in ghosts. Y'all believe specifically in demons
Yeah.
like jinn.
Yeah.
So the worst possible kind of ghost.
Exactly.
Yeah,
Like,
the
like,
ones-
it's not even the fun
Yeah.
ones.
But
you
I
know?
guess they're
No,
they're not even ghosts. Are they? Ghosts and demons
so
are
the fun ones are
different.
called angels.
Okay.
So the fun ones are the angels, and then you got the jinns on the other side.
Okay. That's interesting.
Yeah.
I wonder how like what is like a jinn? Like were they like bad people? Like
Fallen
it's like,
angels.
They could take
Fallen
like
angels.
yeah, that's a good way to put it. And like they could take every form of different people. They could possess people. It's like it's the craziest thing to look up. It's pretty much every kind of ghost story you could think of. Just I wonder what the origins of that shit.
Well, it's the same like across all theology. It's the same shit.
Yeah,
like
yeah.
the fallen angel. You know what I mean? Like it goes to that idea of
dude,
that, but it's based in evil essentially.
Yeah.
it's one of those things
it's all
where like
Luciferian.
I
origins.
like personally don't really believe in ghosts, but there's like enough people I know
That's how
who
I feel.
believe in them where I'm like, it would be like if like you woke up tomorrow and all your closest friends like genuinely believed in Bigfoot. You're like, maybe I'm fucking wrong.
Yeah,
Dude.
Yeah.
Like, you're like,
That's
maybe
pretty
I'm the
much-
one that's off. Like I seem to be the only one that doesn't agree.
The problem with my ghost experience that I have is they're like never concrete.
Yeah.
They're very like you could chalk it up to something else. You know what I mean?
You try to find some kind of scientific explanation to it, or like the wind blew it, or something.
Like one time what
some
happened to
shit.
me, and I'll tell you how I explained it off too, is like I'm in high school. I'm laying in bed one night and I woke up around like 2-3 o'clock. I'm just like laying there. My room was in the basement, you know what I mean? And then like for some reason my body got super hot, then super cold all of a sudden. Like a hot flash and then cold. And I'm
Yeah,
sitting there and I swear it was like right in my ear. It sounded like someone was right next to me and they were like,
Oh.
Fuck, that would have freaked me out. I just got fucking goosebumps listening to that
and
shit.
I
Fuck
just
that shit.
ran to my parents' room at 14, 15 years old.
Al slept in bed with him that night.
And that was the only night that everything happened, and that was the only night I ever experienced anything.
There was one
And I
time.
chalked it up to thinking it was like one of my friends at the window trying to get my attention or something.
Yeah, that's not a great excuse. That's
The hot and cold thing kind of fucks with me.
That
Like
does.
that's the one thing you can't explain that shit.
Yeah.
But I had an experience one time where like I was sleeping. I was a kid. I can't remember how old I was. I was in bed and I woke up and like it was in the middle of the night and I swear I saw like a ghostly figure. Like you remember that show Unsolved Mysteries?
Yeah, of
How that
course.
ghost, how that ghost would walk in the
course.
room. I swear to God, I saw something that looked good.
Oh.
And like
Oh,
it
wow.
just vanished. And the thing is, the door was closed, but then when I woke up, the door was open. I'm like, did someone check on me? And like I didn't know. And then I get up, everything's pitch black, everyone's snoring, and I'm like, what the fuck was that?
How old were you?
I can't remember. I was definitely under 12.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, dude. Okay, so I just remember this, but the only thing in my family that's like kind of like ghost related is my dad was telling me he like went to like a Civil War battlefield
Uh-huh.
Oh shit.
with his brother, and he said the whole time he was there, he like it sounded like war, like he could hear like
shit.
in it, and he like was there like 40 minutes and kept hearing it like cannonballs flying, like fucking like muskets firing,
That's
and
weird.
people
That's crazy.
screaming.
Yo.
And he then told his brother, he's like, yeah, I must be tripping, but I swear like I hear like war, and he goes, I hear it too. Like they both heard it.
That's crazy.
Yeah, yeah.
I've heard I've heard
Whoa.
stuff like that at the Civil War, because the Civil War is brutal. Bro.
Yeah, you know, around here, like what's it called? Antietam.
Yeah.
Like they got a couple spots
Yeah,
out
There's,
there.
there's a park across the street from my house, Johnson's Park. They have a Civil War platform there. Something happened over there with
Where
it.
where
There's-
is Antietam? Is
Brandon's
is
into
that-
history. Where's Antietam at?
Is that Pennsylvania?
No, it's Maryland, right?
Or is
Or is it
Maryland?
Pennsylvania? Oh yeah,
Okay.
Gettysburg.
Yeah.
On the way up there. Yeah. This is a lot of historical shit in
The
this area.
Battle of
Yeah.
Bull Run.
Oh yeah, yeah.
There's a
Oh,
Civil
I
War-
went there.
You went to Battle of Bull
I
Run?
just
Yeah.
went there. Yeah.
Yeah,
That was cool too.
that's awesome, man.
I mean, at some point you're like, this is a lot of reading.
Did you
know?
hear war when you were having
Dude, I was like, maybe I'm with my
This is
dad.
it.
Like,
I'm gonna hear it.
yeah.
I'm gonna hear it.
Yeah, exactly. I was like, I'm with
Yeah.
my dad. Like, he heard that shit one time
Yeah,
before.
yeah.
We're gonna hear it again.
I
Have you
don't
been
play
to-
around with that type of stuff.
No,
Yeah.
no, I don't mess around with that stuff either, man. Like,
Yeah.
because there's some one. I feel like there's truth behind it, and if these ghosts are really angry, I'm not trying to fuck around.
What
with
about other supernatural experiences? Like I saw a UFO once.
Did you?
Yeah, and it was
I did
pretty
too.
trippy. Like when I saw it. So I'm with my brother and a friend, and we're in the North Shore of Hawaii. So there's like no light
Oh
pollution.
fuck.
So we're just out there chilling. We're looking in the sky, looking for UFOs, right? Just because
Oh, you're
why
actually- you're
wouldn't
actually
you?
looking
Yeah,
for
we're
it, yeah.
looking, right? But mentally, you're looking for lights or things of the such. So we saw a
Right.
few like satellites, but you know what a satellite is. You can tell it just kind of moves in a straight line at a steady rate across the sky, right? So then we're just kind of looking, and my boy's like, look, what's that, right? And we look in the sky. I don't see anything. He's like, look right there. And then I finally see it, right? And this is the only way I can explain it. Like y'all have seen The Predator, right?
Mhm.
You know
Mhm.
when he goes cloaked? We saw a cloaked outline
That's crazy.
Fuck.
of like a boomerang.
Oh.
That's fucking nuts.
Like
Right?
it's like almost disguised in the clouds.
Yeah, like it was distortion a little
Yeah,
bit,
yeah.
but for a second you can make the outline.
Yeah.
It's
So
fucking nuts.
and it's low. It's like 10,000 feet.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
it's like below the clouds, like lower, right? And
Yeah.
so all three of us, it all happens. It's like such a weird moment because it happens, and we're all kind of see it, and we kind of watch it for like 3 or 4 seconds, and it kind of just
Yeah.
like dissipates.
That's crazy.
And it happens, and we all look at each other, and grown men were like, "Oh, let's go inside."
Yo,
And then for days after, weeks after, we would hit each other and be like, "Yo,
what the fuck
did we
see?
really see that? Like,
Yeah.
was it
Yeah.
like we couldn't make sense of
Yo,
it?"
it's crazy. I have a
Yeah.
very similar story. So, I remember we finished playing basketball, and we're gonna go to McDonald's, which is down the street to go there, and we had to cross over this road. It's like a very open road, and it's very busy. It's like 5 o'clock in the afternoon. It's rush hour traffic, all this shit, right? All of a sudden, over the sky, this big thing, it almost looks like it's like a giant drone. But like, all right, if like Independence Day, that one scene where that ship that just hovers over,
Yeah.
we saw that shit. Like, but here's the thing,
What the
we
fuck?
all looked at it.
Will Smith comes out.
No,
Yo,
no,
were you
just
tripping on acid?
No.
Smash
I
it.
wasn't the only one though. So like, there's 4 of us in the car. All of us, we were talking. We all shut the fuck up. Nobody said a word. We're just staring at this shit. And then like, all of a sudden, like out of nowhere, it just goes whoop, whoop, and it's gone. And we're like,
Dude.
no. So we pull over, and then we get to this place, and like, there's this other car that was there. They were like, yo, what the fuck was that? I'm like, yo, you saw that too? They're
Wow.
like, yeah, what the fuck? They had to pull over too because they were tripping out.
You know how oblivious we probably are to aliens?
They're probably right there.
You
with-
know, I feel like here running around, like we're just too stupid to like understand. I always use this as an example, right? You'll like this as history, right?
Yeah.
So the Vietnam War, there was some like offshoot island that they were using as like an intermediary drop spot for like resources, right? And every now and then their cargo would fall into like an area it wasn't supposed to.
Yeah.
And in these areas, they had like uncontacted tribes and stuff. So the tribes, they would open these crates and they were getting rice and different resources. They don't know where it's coming from.
The guys
Yeah.
must be
You know what I
crazy.
mean? So then, long story short, what happens is once the war is over, the cargoes stop, right?
Yeah.
So now these people, they don't know what's happening. They just know their resources are stopped. They start building hay statues of the bombers,
That's crazy.
praying to these statues for the gods to
That's
come
crazy.
and bring back
Holy
their.
shit.
You know what I mean?
You ever seen
Yeah,
the movie
yeah.
The Gods Must Be Crazy?
Vaguely.
So
you know about
it's about it's something similar to that. So there was like a plane that was flying over this uncontacted tribe, and a glass bottle falls down, and the whole movie's about them mesmerized by this fucking glass bottle. You should watch it. It's an
Wow.
old ass movie.
Wow.
It's funny as shit.
I've never had any alien encounters, but I did get anally probed in college. So that's, so that's got to be worth something, right?
Was it somebody illegal alien? You are from Texas.
I was trying to convince myself it was aliens, you know?
That's funny. I love fucking all that sci-fi shit. I'm like a real sucker for that. Like probably the
yeah.
way you are about history, that's how I am about sci-fi
Oh, yeah.
shit.
I like it too. I probably don't know as much as y'all, but
Yeah.
like I'm definitely interested in that shit too.
Are you into like well, you went to film school, you said.
Yeah. Yeah.
So like you're into movies.
Yeah. Yeah.
So
yeah.
like what's your genre then?
Fuck. I mean, I like a good like crime thriller. Really, I always like comedy movies. Like every
Okay.
movie I made in college was a comedy.
What's your top 5 favorite movies?
Top 5. Okay. Chinatown,
Okay.
Jaws,
Oh shit. Okay.
Super Bad, probably.
That's a good one.
Super Bad fucking rocks.
Superbad's great.
What else? Big Lebowski, I like
Okay,
a lot.
okay.
I like that.
And you're young, so that's a good
Yeah.
that's a good reference for
I'm
you.
pretty like well versed, like
Yeah.
in like I watch a lot of older movies too.
Gotcha.
That's like Brandon. See, I thought I watched old movies. He be watching shit from like
The 50s and shit.
yeah,
Charlie
dude.
Chaplin.
Yeah.
Have
No
you ever
sound.
seen
Was somebody snapping?
Have you ever seen I Turned Into a Teenage Zombie? I just watched that recently, like the random 70s, because I've been getting something happened at the end of Christmas where I was looking for something to cleanse my palate.
Yeah.
And there's an old like 70s movie called Santa vs. the Martians or something like that. And essentially I was like, okay, this is a great palate cleanser.
Yeah.
And I ended up being like, this is hilarious.
Yeah. Where you just like throw something on, you're like, this could be bullshit, but let's see. Oh shit.
1964.
Damn.
Yeah. Santa conquers the Martians.
I mean, it looks hilarious. Those are his
Dude.
elves, huh?
Those are the Martians.
this
those
looks
are
fucking
the
awesome.
actual Martians. And it's so interesting what happens is
Dude, did they make a black guy the Martian? That's fucked up, man.
no, dude. They didn't put loud black people in movies back then. What are you talking about?
Oh yeah, my bad. I forgot.
Yeah, this
about
is segregation times. He's just, you know what it is? He has green face paint, and you think he's in blackface.
Oh, dude,
That's crazy.
when the real
He's
aliens
in
get here,
green
they're gonna be
face.
pissed about the green
They're
face,
going to be
dude.
pissed about green face.
The way this looks, it looks like it's a Christmas version of The Wizard of Oz.
Yeah, it does.
It has
does.
the weirdest like vibe. This whole movie, essentially, the Martians kidnap Santa, and then Christmas can't happen.
Dude, it sounds hilarious.
Is this rated R?
No.
Okay.
I bet it's clean.
The other one is
that's what I was gonna say.
I
It looks like it's clean.
became a teenage zombie. I was a teenage zombie. This is actually a decent one. I actually like this one.
So Santa versus the Martians, like, not worth the watch.
It's worth the watch at like when you're like, I'm just fucking over Christmas.
Okay.
Like
okay.
you're done with Christmas.
Yeah,
I need a transitional
You're like-
movie. Santa Martians.
You're like, I can't watch a claymation
Yeah.
Rudolph one more goddamn time. Yeah,
I'm
yeah.
the type of dude that where like when holidays come around,
Yeah.
I watch everything and anything related to that holiday,
Okay.
TV and film.
Okay.
Mm.
I like that.
Yeah.
That's fun.
It's like it's Halloween. I'm watching every episode on every show, like their Halloween episodes.
yeah.
And then I watch the movies, and then I try to find a new one every year,
Okay.
Yeah,
like
yeah.
something I
That's
don't
a
Like
know.
you go
Yeah.
into like the classic like horror movies.
Yeah, just dig into like,
yeah.
oh, my boy put me on one that's nuts. This Christmas one called Rare Exports.
Okay.
And it kind of like goes off the Krampus idea of it's a foreign movie.
Okay.
And they go off the idea of like the corpse of Santa being buried in this mountain, like his tomb.
Oh shit!
And like they're awakening
Oh,
him
shit.
like a spirit. It's like it's pretty
They had to
trippy.
like Ouija board Santa.
Oh
Yeah.
shit!
It's called Rare Exports, A Christmas Tale. It's super interesting. So here you see him. This is when they finally get him out. That's them taking him in a cage.
Oh, that's from 2010.
Yeah.
They put him in a cage.
Well, once they get his like, it's the crazy trippy.
Yo,
I love the
That kid
idea.
looks hilarious in the front of that. He looks shocked.
Well, because that whole idea too is like, if you do any of these movies, like you have to give homage to the older ones,
Right.
like Christmas Story. So obviously they're gonna have the kid looking like that, right? They're kind of giving him that like feel.
Right,
You
right,
shot your
yeah.
eye out. Yeah,
You guys should definitely check it out.
it looks cool.
It's
This
definitely
looks
worth-
cool.
It's definitely worth the watch.
Dude, there's a drinking game that goes with it too.
Wow.
Drinking game and podcast.
Damn.
Alki Hollywood. That's a hell of a name.
Alki Hollywood.
Dude, they holy shit. They really put a lot into Rare Exports, dude. They got a podcast around it now.
Yeah.
Maybe it's not foreign. Maybe it's something else I watched that was foreign. But it's a good one.
Krampus is like a foreign Santa though, I think. That's not American shit, I don't think.
No, that's like
That's like-
old mythology.
That's
Brandon, you know anything about the origin of Krampus? No.
That seems like a germ if you ask me.
Let's
Anything
see.
anything bad in this world's a germ.
Origin of Krampus.
You gave me a new word. I'm definitely using that
A germ.
in casual conversation that's coming up. What the fuck
The
is
legend
this?
of the Krampus dates back centuries.
It is German.
Originating
I
at
fucking
German.
knew I knew it was a germ, bro.
Originating as German.
It's a German with
Christmas.
horns and shit.
Dude, I bet little Jewish kids thought Hitler was Krampus, bro.
Oh shit! Are you making a connection right now?
Dude, I'm like Rain Man right now. I'm seeing everything.
Oh my god. Beginning in early December, the children of Germany would begin to hear whispers of a dark-haired, what color's hair was Hitler? A dark-haired creature bearing horns and fangs, carrying a bundle of birch sticks. What do you call a bundle of sticks? Okay. Used to swat naughty children.
This is crazy.
Wow.
Yo, this is crazy. So how the hell did this end up being Santa Claus?
I mean, it sounds like there's a comparison between.
Hold on. Go to the one where it says, what is the true story?
What do you mean? Oh, what is the true story of
Yeah.
Krampus? Okay. Let's see.
Wait,
What-
so is that little kid, like he kidnapped that little kid or
yeah,
something?
that's the idea.
That's terrifying.
But that's what witches and warlocks and Krampuses do.
Yeah,
You know what I'm
that's
saying?
true. It's
Like,
kind of like that movie The Witch. That's a good movie.
I
You
have
that
seen The
one?
Witch.
That's
yeah.
good. That's
I
really
love me a
good.
good scary
Yeah, yeah.
movie. Yeah. But not like gore. I'm not really into gore.
No, yeah,
Yeah.
me neither, dude. Like,
After the first Saw, I was
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
I'm good.
yeah, I was
yeah.
like, that's all I need
Yeah.
right there.
And what's odd is that's like most people that Saw did it for a generation.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
But around the same time, there was another. I don't know if it was the same time, but there was another movie that had the same effect on me. It was the Rob Zombie, the first movie the one before that,
That was the first one.
The Devil's Rejects. House is before that. Okay,
Yeah.
so you're right. House of a Thousand Corpses, and then Devil's Rejects. I was like, white people are insane. Like it legit scared. Like I was like, oh, this is what true like satanic, wild, like that type of world is.
Yeah.
Not saying I wasn't entertained.
Yeah,
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like I was
Yeah.
just like,
It was a shock.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. Dude, I'm not a big horror guy, I will say.
Yeah.
I get nostalgia with horror. Like, for example, the first Scream. That always do it for me. Just because of my
Yeah.
Oh,
old
yeah.
age.
But that's anything from
Yeah.
back then.
I'm
Yeah.
a sucker for like classics, but I don't go in like deep like rabbit holes looking for like the crazy like they're like this is like the goriest fucking movie. I'm
I
like,
used to
I'm
do that.
good.
I'm gonna name a few movies. You give me yes or no.
Okay, all right.
Donnie Darko.
Never seen it.
Yeah,
You
gotta
seen
see that.
Donnie Darko?
Yeah, you gotta see that.
Brandon,
gotta
you
see
seen Donnie Darko? He looked at me like I was like, what? Of course, you
that.
asshole.
Dude, and
you
I know
will, you will
Yeah,
love
you
Donnie
and
gotta see
I
that.
Darko.
know
You
I
gotta see
need
that.
to watch
Yeah.
it. It's just like
I'm making a list on the side
Okay,
here for
all right.
you. All right, Donnie Darko. And
All right.
you guys got something for him he needs to see? If he's seen, question?
I can't think of any right now off the top of my head.
That whole era back then was
Oh,
good.
I mean, I can get.
How-
All right, what kind of hood movies have you seen?
Oh, there we go. Now we talking. None.
When you say hood, like what are we talking? Like Friday
Red
or
Riding
something?
Hood?
Like Friday or
Yeah,
something?
yeah.
Okay, yeah.
Friday counts. That's
Okay,
one.
yeah. I've seen Friday. What about
Boys in the Hood?
never seen that.
Menace to Society.
Dude, I might get fucking flamed for saying this, but like what? Like White Man Can't Jump, maybe?
That's a hood movie.
It
That's
could-
a hood movie.
kinda,
Yeah,
kinda.
you'll get
Kinda.
away with that.
Yeah, yeah.
You'll
It's
get away
like
with
it's
that.
like a white guy infiltrates the hood.
Yeah.
kinda,
Yeah, I mean, we're not black,
You know
so
what
we
movie?
can't tell.
You
We
know what
can't
movie
tell you.
I think we should watch together and like do a review with him.
Uh-huh.
You seen Shatas, right?
Yeah, of course.
He needs to watch Shatas. With
He
me.
would not be entertained.
Never even heard of it.
It's a Jamaican gangster movie. I don't see him getting past the first 5 minutes. He's not going
I
to know what
think
they're
he would
saying.
love that shit,
He's going to
honestly.
need captions.
I sound
You-
fucking. I need to.
He's
I
intrigued.
need-
Look at him. He wants to know what. He wants to know more about this shit.
Okay,
He's like,
you're
for real?
intrigued?
They made this shit.
Give me the elevator
synopsis.
pitch on it.
Well,
All right, so there were kids that grew up in Jamaica. They got sent. They somehow ended up in Miami, and it just became gangsters in Miami.
Okay.
And like it was, the whole premise of the movie is just they're selling drugs and doing whatever.
This is the whole synopsis it gives you.
Yeah.
It's one sentence.
That's pretty much what I said right there. in Violent
Deported
Ways.
from the United States, 2 drug dealers traveled to Miami and continue their violent ways. That tells you a lot, right?
Dude, I just
Yeah.
imagine them
Hold
like
on. What's the IMDb rating on this?
IMDb rating.
I guarantee you it's at
dude,
least a 7.
3.
It's a 6. It's a 6. Yeah.
Okay, that's not bad. 17% on Rotten Tomatoes, though.
This is an awesome movie.
Jesus
This is an
Christ,
amazing
that's
movie.
I mean,
horrific.
those older movies, they're like, you just kind of give them grace. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
In
yeah,
certain
yeah.
genres,
Yeah. And also, you can't believe Rotten Tomatoes, dude.
This
You
was
can't watch
this
it
is a
wrong.
cult classic.
I want you
bro.
to ask us, like, you know how we ask you, like, hood movies? Is there like, hey, have you guys seen this white movie?
Okay. Yeah.
American
Is there
History
like
X.
movies that are super white?
American History X.
No, that's
kidding.
everybody movie. Everybody loved that movie.
I mean, I love Chinatown. Like that's like my
a good movie. That's a great
favorite
movie. That's a great movie.
And I mean,
Who's your favorite actor?
oh, that's a good question. Probably Philip Seymour Hoffman.
Okay.
You know,
Okay.
the guy that
I got to put a face to this. Who's
Yeah,
this
yeah.
guy?
You'll know him when you see
Philip
him.
Seymour Hoffman?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I mean, his story is even more tragic because he died like way young, like 45. He's, drug
Damn.
addict,
Damn.
did heroin, like,
That's always the good ones.
yeah.
It's
Dude,
always the good ones.
he was killer, man. Like, he's in this movie I love called The Master.
I thought that was Jim Gaffigan at first second.
That does look like Jim Gaffigan. Dude, Jim Gaffigan could just play all his roles. They wouldn't. Like, they're like, Philip Seymour Hoffman died. I don't know.
Okay, that's awesome.
Yeah. He's probably my favorite. I'm starting to like Cillian Murphy a lot. The guy that played
Mhm.
Oppenheimer.
Ooh, okay.
Okay.
Yeah, like he was in a show I love called Peaky Blinders.
Oh, this guy.
Yeah.
Yeah. This guy's
yeah.
interesting.
I like guys that can like play a leading man, but they also like look weird enough to play like kind of like
Villainous.
Yeah,
I was gonna say
exactly.
he's played some good villain roles.
Yeah, he can play a villain for sure.
It's the jawline. They
Yeah,
usually
yeah.
say if that sharp jawline, you can
And
get
that
a villain.
stare. He
in
also has that stare.
Just in every photo, he looks fucking pissed, dude.
Yeah.
Like he's got that stare to him.
Like he's
Little
gonna
smile
be-
here. Little
Yeah,
smile
yeah.
here.
That's
It looks like he's looking at a kid like, don't you do that again. Like,
Yeah.
like in every
I
picture.
swear to God, if you get in the mailbox one more time.
Wait till we go home.
Two good choices, man.
Yeah. Philip Seymour Hoffman's my favorite. Like, I mean, he's in tons of good stuff. Like, and he used to always just play small roles. Like he's in Boogie Nights.
Yeah.
He's in The Big Lebowski. And every role he played was always different. Like he never played the same character.
So let me ask you this. I'm gonna give you 2 actors. You tell me who you're choosing as
Okay.
yours. Al Pacino or Leonardo DiCaprio?
Ooh.
Oh, that's a good question.
For what role?
Just not.
Just body of work?
Yeah.
Okay.
Because then that makes it too hard.
Yeah.
Body of work.
I would pick. Oh, that's really tough.
What about you?
I'll go Al just because the catalog is a lot deeper as far as like.
Really? You think it's deeper?
No, I'm saying from like just the years.
Yeah.
Here's
But then
You're right.
Leo's got some heavy hitters.
He still
really
has
heavy
years to
hitters.
put in.
Here-
Leo has
Yeah.
one of my favorite movies, Catch Me If You Can.
Oh yeah.
I love that movie.
Here's what I'll say about Pacino. Like, I'm a huge Pacino fan in the 70s.
Yeah.
And then after that, like, don't
That's what
really
I'm saying.
care.
Like, so this is where I was going
So
with
like
this.
Serpico
Yeah,
and
yeah.
all that. Yeah.
Dog Day Afternoon,
Yeah, yeah.
Godfather, like love all that shit. And then after like even like Scarface, I'm not like a huge fan of.
Yeah.
Like it's good, but it's not like
culturally
Yeah.
like,
yeah, exactly.
and on a movie scale, it's decent.
Yeah. And here's
Yeah.
the other thing too. I noticed that Leo's not in that many movies anymore.
He's
anymore.
not.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Like-
he's a producer. He's behind the scenes guy now.
Yeah. Like
He's putting people in places.
Yeah.
That's what I noticed.
like
I
I
mean,
know he's
dude.
got one movie coming out this year that looks really good, but this is probably his first movie since like Once Upon a Time in Hollywood,
Yeah.
probably.
And he's put in his work, right? Like,
Yeah.
dude, we're talking about Basketball Diaries. Like,
Yeah,
you know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
he was
He's
sucking dick
he's
in a
dude,
bathroom.
He's
You know,
done
he's come a
some
long
shit,
way.
man.
He's got some
Yeah.
range too,
Like,
like that.
dude,
Django.
Gilbert Grape.
Dude, yeah. Oh my God. Yeah, you
You
played
know
that
what I
autistic.
mean?
Dude, I used to have a joke about that.
About Gilbert Grape?
Yeah. So the joke was like, so one time when I went to LA, we took a tour of the Paramount lot, and they're showing us where they like made all these like great, like iconic movies. And they're like, here's where they filmed a scene from Breakfast at Tiffany's. And we're like, oh, that's cool, classic movie. And they're like, a fun fact about that movie was really, or that role was really challenging for Aubrey Hepburn because in the movie she had to play an extrovert, but in real life she was an introvert. And I remember thinking like, yeah, that's like acting. And then the joke was like, I was like, I wonder if What's Eating Gilbert's Grape was hard for Leo because he's not actually a retard.
Oh my God.
That's what they're saying.
That always
about-
got some like, whoa.
Can you add another tag like Leo and Django? Is he actually a
Oh,
racist?
Yeah,
there you
exactly.
go.
I'm like, but Django was very easy for Leo, actually. Yeah.
Imagine like Johnny Depp playing that role.
Hey, that was actually going to be my next question. Johnny Depp or Leo? Because I think the two of them are real similar, but they're also very
For
different.
me, I'm gonna go Depp. Something about the range.
Yeah.
Dude, Depp can
I like
play
pirates.
he can play like super like quirky characters that
That's
Leo
what I'm.
can't.
That's what
Yeah.
I'm saying.
Like he
Yeah.
can play like really weird fucking
he
characters.
puts his own spin on
Here's
things
a way
too.
to say it too: is like Johnny Depp can like just do mannerisms, and that's his acting. Where Leo doesn't have that same, like he doesn't have a mannerism
Yeah.
to his character.
Yeah,
Like,
exactly.
Edward Scissorhands walks a certain way.
Yeah.
McConaughey has the same type of thing. McConaughey and Depp, when they have roles, they own it. Like they have
Yeah.
a way of owning it. Leo does too, but like it's different. I don't know. I can't.
Depp,
It's hard to
I
explain.
remember like when he played Willy Wonka, I was like in shock.
That's-
That was him.
yeah,
Yeah.
I was like, that's
yeah. That was an amazing role.
Johnny
He killed.
Depp.
He
It's
killed
amazing.
that shit. He killed that shit.
Amazing.
Dude, did y'all follow the Johnny Depp like Amber Heard?
Well, that shit was
shit.
hilarious.
a bit.
That shit was
Yeah.
hilarious.
The shitting in the bed part. Whatever came of that.
Yeah. She like shit in his bed or something.
But what came of that?
The pint size.
Oh, I
Like
think
he won.
I think he won a
She
settlement.
mad.
I think he won money, but
Yeah.
not like a ton, not to like Johnny Depp standards.
And so he hasn't done a movie since, right?
No.
So the next movie comes out, we're all gonna
they
wait,
pulled
go
him
rush
out.
to
Yo,
see.
they pulled him from the pirates. He got so whatever came out, he got pulled from the pirates.
Because
yeah,
of that?
I think he's back in.
Yeah,
though, now.
is he? I hope he
think
is.
Oh well, there's that whole writer's strike right now and all
Yeah,
that.
so they're not
anyway,
even filming
right?
shit
Yeah.
now. Yeah,
So,
but
That's
yeah,
interesting.
I mean, Johnny Depp, dude. Like,
That
I
mega
think
pint.
he won like $2 million in that settlement or something.
yeah.
But he's like in severe like debt, so he like desperately needed that money.
Really?
Is he? I didn't know
Dude, he
this.
like spends like he's like well, I don't even know the term for it, but just like an excessive spender.
Really?
Like he can't like he like I heard like he spends like $2 million on wine like a month.
Mm.
A month?
A month, $2 million on wine.
How often is he drinking?
Dude, he's hammered like all the time.
That makes the mega pint makes sense.
But
now.
he's also he's not getting your typical like barefoot $5. Like he's getting like,
Yeah,
good
yeah,
shit.
yeah,
you know?
yeah.
But
Yeah.
like I think he like desperately needed that money. So like $2 million, he was probably like, you fucking kidding me? Like I think he sued for like 12 or something or like $20 million.
Sad story, man, when that type of shit happens.
Yeah, it
dude,
sucks,
is.
man.
It is sad. It is sad.
There's a few people that have been able to like avoid those nuclear kind of situations.
I think the
Like
most
Denzel,
interesting-
for the most part,
Yeah.
Yeah, he's been safe.
he's
He's been safe.
coasted.
He's been safe. I think the most interesting thing about Johnny Depp though, he's from Kentucky, but somehow he has a foreign accent now.
What you mean? What's he sound like?
You ever hear his voice? He doesn't sound like he's from Kentucky
yeah,
at all.
He does. Yeah, he
He
don't
kinda
sound like he's from
sounds a-
Kentucky now that you say
He
that.
kind of sounds like a like
Like a French germ.
it sounds like a germ.
French germ.
Yo, the German people are gonna hate us. This fucking episode.
Hear that, you germs?
Hey, he taught me that shit.
Yeah, I remember I called a girl. We had a exchange student from Germany in high school, and I called her a germ one time.
God damn.
What kind of
I was
reaction
like,
did you get?
Emmy, you're a germ, right? And she was like, I remember she was like, a what? She was like,
I used
what?
to. My best friend in school was half Jewish and half Catholic in middle school, and to entertain the other kids, we would racially crack jokes on each other. So he would be like, "Go back to your cave, Bin Laden," and I'd be like, "Go back to your attic, Anne Frank," and like we just go back and forth like the
That's
class.
fucking awesome.
I mean, growing up in this area, like that's how you get your chops.
Hey,
like,
that's friendship right there, though,
Dude.
You know,
I remember the moment in life where I realized like I can roast, or like you had to roast.
yeah.
You know what I mean? Like
Yeah,
there
yeah.
was a bully who used to bully me, and he was like 4 or 5 years older, and he would bully me on the basketball court. And one day, one of his friends was like, "Yo, just say." He would always say stuff about me being South Asian, whatever. And one of his boys one day was like, "Hey, say something about him being Mexican." And I was like, it was like the clouds of,
You just
and I
open
was
the
like, "Oh
fucking-
shit."
The floodgates open.
Like
You should
finally-
mow my lawn. And then his face like just dropped, and I was
He's
like,
like, "Oh, shit, he
I
can do
felt
this
like
too?"
Thanos. I was like, oh, another infinity ring. And here I am today in full form.
Like
know
you
what I'm
finally
saying?
realized, like, oh, I should just hit him back.
Yeah.
Yo, speaking of roasting, all right, these open mics that we go to. Last time y'all came in, I wasn't there. Can y'all tell me what the hell
Oh,
happened
yeah,
at
we,
that
should,
mic?
we should talk about that.
I mean, yeah, it's
It's y'all story. Y'all gotta
I'll
inform me.
let- I can tell it, and whenever you want to chime in, you tell. Your
I'd rather
part.
you tell the story.
Okay,
Yeah, from an
I'll-
outside perspective.
I'll do my best here. So I'm looking right at the camera now. We know. So we do this open mic every Wednesday. Give a hoot, and one of the guys that's always there, he was like, "Hey, I'm gonna start doing an open mic on Wednesdays," and we're like, "Cool." And to be honest, at first I was like, "I'm never going to that." Like I was like, I got a good thing going here. Like I'm not gonna go. But then like y'all went one time and y'all like, it's pretty good. Like Remy was like, it's good. It's like a black crowd. Like they're into it. Like y'all were like, no, it was like really good. And I was like, okay, cool. So went one week. It went, fine, whatever. Nobody really laughed, but I was like, that's fine. But I will say, when you were up on stage, I heard somebody talking shit about your set, but I didn't see who it was. And I was just like, nah, whatever. Like they suck. Like, I'm not even going to tell Al that, like, cause sometimes if you tell other comedians, like you don't want to get in their head,
Right.
But this person fucking sucks. So we'll just go ahead and spill it all. So then the next week we go, me, Al, and Remy, and this girl does a set. I think we probably shouldn't say her name.
I don't. It doesn't even matter.
Yeah.
I don't even know her name at this point.
Yeah. But she, she's kind of got that like energy about her, that like I'll give you the what's what, type of shit.
I love that he's telling me. He's the best person to tell this story. Right? Look at Ish and tell him the story as you tell.
Like she's
so entertained. Right
she's just like, you can tell like she's like been through something.
Shit.
Like she's been through, like she needs like a hug.
No one told me this version.
Like she's got like some like in her set was just like her screaming kind of like she's kind of trying to tell a story, but she was just screaming the whole time. And she was walking through like the crowd like it was like church, like black church or something,
Oh, she's mobile. Okay.
Yeah. And then during her set, Al was literally just sitting like in the corner,
Minding my own
like,
business like I
literally,
always am.
I mean, not even paying attention. Like he's literally like, I saw the look on his face. It's like the look like a dog has on its face. It's just
He's
like,
probably running through his shit in his head.
I mean, like,
Yeah, you know when you before you go up, your mind you're just
Yeah.
kind of
I mean, it seemed like there were no thoughts on
yeah.
Yeah. It looks
I
like it, but in your head, you're like 1, 2, 3, 4.
And I could tell like you were thrown off because she was like, "Hey," and she was like, "Your brown ass always comes in here with that stupid ass joke about sucking dick." And then she's like, and you're dressed like you like shop at like Babies R Us or some shit, something like that. Like she's calling you small, brown, like your jokes suck. So like triple threat
out of
right
nowhere.
There. Yeah.
For like 10 seconds, I'm looking around. Oh shit, who's she talking about? Who's she talking about?
And I actually didn't even know who she was talking about either. And then I started to be like, I think she's talking about Al. And I see Al just looking, and I see him go, and he goes, me? Like he points at himself. And she's like, yeah, you. Like she acted like you had like personally offended like her family.
I've never spoken to her in my life. I do not know this.
Yeah. And
girl.
You're like, what? And she keeps kind of like trying to go in, and all her friends are like, oh shit. And me and Remy are like, what the fuck's going on? Like we're just sitting there. And then I have to go on after her. So everything kind of dies down for a little bit. She went in on Al.
I'm just flabbergasted.
Is that how she ended her set?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
That was her closer.
Yeah.
Oh, shit.
And I would say she probably went in on Al for like 2 minutes.
2 minutes.
And then Al was like, when I get up, I'm fucking going in.
I just guess, okay. Her friend was still recording. I said, put the camera on me. I'm going up next.
And then I was in between them.
Yeah.
So she goes outside. She's not even in for my set.
She's gone.
And I just go about my normal business. I do remember I was getting no laughs. Probably shouldn't have said this, but I was like, feels like y'all really hate me in here. I feel like I just said the N-word or something.
You did say that.
And nothing. Like no laughs. I was just like, this is brutal. And
I think there was like an audible, oh hell no, or something.
Really?
Yeah,
probably. Yeah. And I was desperate. Like I probably shouldn't have said that, but it was just desperation up there, you know. I also said that I had sex with Nana, so
it was slow deaths up there.
But that actually worked. That was like, that got some laughs because they're like, yeah, no way this fucking honky, you know, fucked her, which is true, yeah, totally true.
Or they're laughing because it is true.
yeah. And so, you know, bomb, of course, and then Al goes up, and he immediately was like, well, I was just minding my own business in the back. But it seems like somebody wants to like start some shit. And then he's like about to go in, and one of her friends runs outside, and she's like, oh, hell no, he's up there talking about you.
Go get her.
Yeah. And she comes storming in, dude.
Storming in, like I said, her baby was ugly or something, bro. Yeah. Like angry, storming off break. And then drunk and belligerent and mad.
At first, like she gets in Al's face a little bit, like, oh, you talking shit, whatever. And then Al has like a couple good like comebacks, like, hey, like, you know, your hair looks stupid, your gums are massive, you need gum reduction surgery, shit like that. Yeah. And then like she's kind of trying to give it back to you.
I'm trying to like make it like fun. Let's make it fun.
Yeah.
But she's like,
it's like hate.
She's like viciously wants to punch me in the face.
It's like, and she's like right in his face.
Yeah, from the video, I saw, like she's just screaming, and she's like, she's not funny, and then she wasn't saying no, and I don't know. It's just really weird. Really weird from her. She was very loud.
Yeah, and then like
the whole room turned on.
And then Al's like, half the room. Al's like, you're not even gonna let me talk. You're just screaming. Like you're not even gonna let me talk. Yeah. And then she's like, okay, and she sits down like right in front of Al. Like it would be like me to him right now. And she's just staring at him. Puts sunglasses
and says, "All right, do your jokes."
Yeah. And she.
How can I go upon my set?
Yeah, and she just sits there like this, just watching him.
Yeah.
And Al, hardly anybody's on his side. Like, they're all her friends.
Yeah.
Like, there's really nothing.
I had Sam and Remy. And, like, maybe, like, 2 other guys that were just randomly there that were like, this is great.
There were definitely a couple guys in the crowd that were like, you got her ass on that one.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, because at the end of the day, she wasn't really like coming with jokes, and nobody wants to hear you scream at the top of your lungs. Yeah. You know what I mean? Like,
I think that's what took away from it.
So it made it cringe for everybody.
Yeah.
So long story short, at the end, it just felt like a slow death for everybody up there. And we were just like, this ain't it. And I talked to, I talked to the owner of the mic. We're on fine terms after the fact because he kind of, we talked behind the scenes and we talked about it. But you ended your closer of your set with, I'll probably never come back here. So, and there's other few people who feel away. Long story short, I think the idea of what we're saying is like, as comics, we want to be able to go to mics and like work our stuff out with people who are there for comedy. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And it makes it hard if you're dealing with a certain level of rowdiness. A certain is nice, right? Because you can play off of it. Yeah. But when it gets like
belligerent.
It wasn't even a heckle. You can't even consider what happened that night a heckle. It went nuclear, Yeah. And for me being so new into stand-up, at the end of the day, I thrived off that moment because I do have a dark mind and I kind of like, I felt like Mayweather. I felt like the heel, the arch nemesis. I kind of like feed off that. You know what I mean? So for me, it was a learning experience in that. And I think we decided what mics we do want to do and what we don't want to do. You know what I mean?
I already knew that Mike was like, I don't want to say like unserious, but like this is just like you're not gonna like progress really at this mic. This is just to like practice like holding a microphone, practice like kind of talking to audience.
Don't say crowd work.
Exactly.
And I like the owner of the mic. You know what I mean? We all like him. You know what I mean? So we like what he's attempting to do.
He took a liking to us too, which is cool.
Yeah, and I will continue to like him. You know what I mean? But
the end of it got like real racist.
No, hold on.
Well, it got racist on her side because all you could say to me was the whole 7-Eleven, ding. You know what I mean? All that's been done. It's cringe if you do it now. You got to get a little clever. That's low-hanging fruit. You know what I mean?
She was like, like kind of like doing the Apu comparison and all that shit.
That's my bit.
How did it end?
And then she dropped the mic.
And they did not like that.
And it made that loud ass like piercing. Just loud as fuck. Yeah. And like literally like all her friends, there's probably like 10 of her friends there. They're all like clapping. They're like, got his ass, got his fucking ass.
But she didn't say anything.
Yeah, and we were all just like, what?
Let's get out of here.
Like,
and we'll cap it with this. My favorite part of the whole night is at the end. We're in the parking lot, like, what the fuck just happened? And Sam comes to me. He's like, hey, kind of walking. Hey, I don't know, man, but they really hated you.
Dude, I was like in shock. I was like, I don't understand. Like, I'm like, did you like kill her mom or something? They're like, what the fuck happened? Like, you literally like just met that woman.
Dude, fun times. And for me, I just feel like it's all learning for stand-up because Wednesday night at Hoot, I had what I felt like was one of my best sets. That happened after that set. Then Thursday night, I had my worst bomb of my life. So it's like...
You got a crash course in a week.
I've had an emotional roller coaster this week of all types of stuff. So that's why this first episode of this podcast is perfect, like a cleanse. You know what I mean? We're going into next week.
And I mean, that's normal to have like weeks of stand up where you're like, I just feel off.
How long have you been doing stand up?
Like 6 months.
Oh, really?
Yeah. I thought you had like
you've been doing it years, dude.
No. I thought you got years in.
Yeah, no, just like 6 months.
So you literally got like
new too.
So you literally probably got like 3-4 months more than we do.
Yeah.
Wow.
I will say, so I'm pretty new, but I wrote jokes for years.
Got you.
Years. I have like,
I could tell you're writing sharp.
Like I have like probably like 1,000 jokes.
Wow.
Nice.
But like I've only tried out probably like 30 minutes of them and like only like 10 minutes work.
Wow.
But like I have like anytime I feel like I need new jokes, I just go to my like
how many
like
let me ask you this. The jokes that you've had, how much of that 30 minutes have you tried out here and how much was it started out there? And what have you done there and here?
So when I first came out here, I had like a tight 5 and I would any open mic I hit, I would just do that because I was like, I want people to
impress
notice.
Yeah.
And now that I've been here a little longer, I develop like new material. Like I've definitely like, I've probably gotten like 3 or 4 minutes since I've been up here, probably I say. And so now I have about like 10 minutes that I can like just choose to like go into. And like normally at a mic, I'll do like 2 minutes of like material and then I'll try to do like a couple minutes of like shit I'm trying to like figure out.
And we're all on the show this Friday coming up. We'll try to get this out before then. So that's Friday the 11th.
Yeah.
That's Solly's U Street. Yeah. It might be sold out by that time. If it is on the 25th, running it back.
Yeah.
Solly's U Street, Sam Love,
starts at
Remy Musio, Ish Housein, me, Amir.
Yeah. And a bunch of other good DC
hilarious.
comics.
Alex Starstruck Productions. We've been having fun there.
Oh,
Yeah,
yeah.
Danny
Good
Wood
place.
from
Danny Woods.
Yeah.
He's hilarious, man.
Yeah.
Some really, really
Great
talented
comics
people.
out there.
Yeah.
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 And we're so new that like it's
Yeah.
new people for me every time,
Yeah.
and it's fun, man. It's interesting.
Oh yeah. It's
You
a
also
blast.
you see new people up like, all right, Kevin is cool too.
That's what I mean. You see new comics
and then
every
you
time.
meet them too. And what I noticed about comedy, what's really, really cool. No, even in sports, when I played sports or whatever, like you get cool with people, yeah, but like with comedy, you get cool with every single person.
Mhm.
Like, and they all willing to help you and each other like that. And sports is so competitive and so different.
and
Like
also-
comedy is so
yeah.
it's so different.
I mean, the thing with comedy is like only comedians like understand like what you're going through.
Mm.
Like because people that don't have like haven't been up there with a mic trying to tell jokes, they don't know what it's like.
Yeah.
And I'll have people who I go a lot easier on comedians now than when before. Like I'd be like, this guy sucks or whatever. Like now I see the process of developing material and bombing and like
You might have you caught him on a bad night.
exactly. Yeah.
Dude,
Yeah.
I tried to explain. My girl didn't understand why I was so upset Thursday night and the
Yeah.
next day. I said, I just bombed and had the air sucked out of me.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
I feel like I got punched in my chest in the cafeteria and my pants fell down while it happened. Like, you know what I mean? Like, what do you mean? Why am I upset?
Well, dude,
You know what I mean?
my girl does the same thing
Yeah.
where, like, so I bombed at Eric Nuasu's
Yeah.
open mic hard, and I was pissed, and she's like, "I don't understand why you're so mad." I'm like, "I just ate shit."
Yeah.
Like, I mean, like no laughs, like nothing, like just the whole time just staring at me.
Crickets. Yeah.
Like, how'd you do there?
I did good.
Did
I did,
you?
yeah, I did pretty good. I did pretty good.
That was me Thursday
I
I
did
night.
pretty
sucked
good. I
dick.
did
Yeah, I
pretty good.
sucked. I don't know. Something was just off that night. I think I got like I wasn't like doing like heavy hitting like material.
That's the
really.
weird thing about bombing, right? Is that like when you're bombing, you can go to a joke that you know works. Like
And if that
you
doesn't
know it works. It just worked 5 times this week, right?
Yeah.
And you're bombing and you hit it and you go for it and it's still just flat.
Well, that's the thing about bombing too. Is like when you're bombing, there's almost nothing you can do to get out of
Yeah.
it because they've already decided like, you're not funny.
right.
Mhm.
But what you
You've
have
lost them.
exactly.
Yeah.
But the way you get out of that is you can't do material. You have to crowd work your way out of it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because crowd work is always funnier than your jokes because crowd work, they're in on the joke with you. They're like, they
Right.
just saw everything happen. They see you like computing a joke in real
Mm.
time to tell.
That's nice.
So they're like, oh, this is okay, that's
see.
funny. And then if you get them back with like crowd work, then you can go back into your material.
That's what I'm learning. Because Amir is really good with that because we saw Amir bomb at a mic and then he was literally off crowd work, brought him back. Got
Yeah.
him back home just off
Yeah.
his natural
He's very good at
ability
that.
to like, oh, I got, and they were, as soon as he got him back, he was right back on track.
Yeah.
You know
At Eric's mic, I tried to go into crowd work
yeah.
and I could not get anywhere with
Because
it.
it's vibe, right? Like once you're kind
And it
of
was
like,
just boring. Like I was
Yeah.
like, "What do you do, sir?" And he's like, "I work for a corporation." I'm like, and I tried to be like, "Oh, you know, like, you know, he works for Apple. He like, you know, like or whatever, like some bullshit where I'm like, you know, like Chinese kids making you phone. Yeah, just bullshit didn't
Yeah.
work at all. Just couldn't get anywhere. And you know, it's hard to come back from a bomb if you only have 5 minutes. You know?
Yeah.
It's
You're
the
probably
thing
just gonna
is,
bomb.
it's
True.
the way the crowd reacts too. Like it's one thing for them to sit there and just not laugh at your shit. It's another thing for them to get up and fucking leave.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
it's that's what part of it, the addicting part for me too, is because like I'm like big into things that are hard or uncomfortable.
Yeah.
And this is like one of those things in my life that is like the hardest and the most
Yeah.
uncomfortable, which makes it like a challenge and it makes it this puzzle and it makes it fun in the community. And we've been meeting guys like you
Yeah, yeah,
and running around and getting no sleep and just
yeah,
experiencing this different like world that we didn't even.
yeah, exactly.
That I
And-
wish I
Yeah.
explored years ago.
And-
Like,
Yeah.
And if you love it, like if you truly love stand up, like you don't care if you bomb. You're gonna
you don't. You're gonna keep
going.
going.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Exactly.
I need another mic ASAP so I can watch this. out my
The first thing he did, he's like, "Yo, do you know any much on Sundays?" And he's like, "Yo," he's like,
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. In fact, if I bomb, I'm more eager to get on stage
Yeah.
because I'm
Yeah.
like, I need to like
Get
fix
flushed
this.
out.
You know? Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
It's good times, man. And we're gonna keep our journey going, and that's what this podcast is about. Appreciate you coming.
Dude,
Today,
it was a
man,
blast,
you have
man.
fun.
I had
You're
a
our first
blast.
episode.
Yeah.
Number one, you're our crown jewel first episode.
Hey, you're
You know,
welcome.
we thought we'd bring the great white hype himself into here.
Giving
Sam
the audience
Love,
what they want.
you know?
Hey, it was a pleasure, guys.
Dude,
I had a
This was
blast.
awesome.
We love you. We will continue to see you at the mics.
Oh, yeah.
One more time, U Street, August 11th, August 25th. All of us
Yeah.
with
8
our
o'clock.
friends. Starstruck Production, Alex Starr. It's
Yeah.
going to be a fun night.
Yeah.
Come out and have a blast.
Sully's
Sally's U Street.
yeah.
Yeah. So appreciate
8
you
o'clock.
guys.
Yeah. All right. Well,
Ish,
this
you
was
got
fun, guys.
anything message for the people you want to leave them with?
Nah, man,
You got the Instagram.
Yeah, I was gonna say, check out my Instagram is Ish Comedy, EYEG.
Al Ali Comedy. And then we got a podcast IG, don't we?
Yeah.
What's
Did
that?
You Order Podcast?
Did you order
Yep,
podcast?
Did You Order Podcast?
Sam, what's your social?
Yeah, you can follow me on Instagram, uncle_Sam_. I probably need
Bless
to change,
America.
probably need to change that.
I appreciate
Uncle Sam,
you.
y'all.
Yeah.
Great show.